So I won't set up my phone and record because I just feel like then my attention's to my phone a little bit and I'm not really concentrating on what I'm doing if I'm worried about my phone.
I don't want the couple thinking I'm milking their wedding for marketing.
It's not what I've been paid for. I'm not there to get content from my own social media.
Never give it a second thought that, I shouldn't be doing that. They actually love it. They get the benefit from it.
I probably just convinced myself that it's the wrong thing to do because I don't want to do it.
Hey, be sure you stick around because we're only getting warmed up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Think Wedding Business. And today's a good one for me because we've got a muso on. Yes, sax player extraordinaire and newly crowned winner of the Wedding Industry Award. So first of all, ladies and gents, a very warm welcome to the lovely Lucy Harvey. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you very much for having me on today. It wasn't due to nagging me, please. Let me on your podcast. So I'm very, very happy to be here.
Did you enjoy having an intro there?
I did, yeah, it was really nice. I don't get an intro unless I give myself an intro, and it doesn't always feel like the appropriate thing to do at weddings, so that's nice.
It was a bit shit though, wasn't it? Saxo player.
I mean,
it's not your best. It's not your best, Howard.
It's not my best. I'm a bit rusty. This is our first one of the year, isn't it, Adam? So great to kick off with Lucy, mainly because she's just won the Wedding Awards, which we're going to touch on a little bit later. But Lucy, just right off the bat, for anybody who doesn't know you yet, how would you describe what you do in the wedding industry?
Oh, I am a singer and a saxophone player, probably a saxophone player and a singer. It's sort of weighed that way more these days. I could play for ceremonies, drink receptions, cocktail hour, alongside a DJ. So it's anything from sort of laid back, wedding aisle songs, those special moments like first dance or full on party vibes.
Sweet, that'll do. Mega. So how did you first get into weddings then? Was it planned or did you just kind of fall into it?
Yeah, it was kind of it's a bit of a long old convoluted story. So I started working on holiday parks at the age of 18 because I'd always grown up going to Haven holidays and things like that and held them in really high regard and really wanted to do that. So I started doing that in the breaks between university, and that was like a proper in the deep end. You had to learn how to use a mixing desk. You had to learn how to host a quiz, and you just got really good at talking to people because that was part of the job. And then being sort of told, oh, you need to do 3 songs before like the Kids Act comes on. So you're thrown right in the deep end, and then that sort of built a bit of a repertoire. I worked as a lead singer on a cruise ferry contract. That was fun, Hull to Bruges and back. And so did lots of jobs where I was like lead singer. And then I started out doing solo work in like pubs and social clubs on that sort of circuit. But at the same time, I was sometimes stepping for a band at weddings. And that was really fun because it was like such a contrast in you go to a wedding and everyone's up for a good time. You play at a pub. Some people might want to have a good time, but I just liked that. Like everyone was ready for a party. And then I went back to study musical theatre. And the musical director there ran a gospel choir and they did a lot of weddings and he asked me to join that. So then I got to see the daytime side of weddings. So we're doing lots of ceremonies and drinks reception. And I was like, maybe I could do this. I own a PA, I play and sing, but just not a wedding. So I was also doing a theatre tour at times. There's lots of entertainment jobs. And one of the singers there, she did a lot of weddings. So I said, how am I going to get into this? And she's like, go and do some wedding fairs, meet couples. And that was how it sort of slowly snowballed, really, into then getting my own wedding bookings. And then COVID came, which was a big change. And my diary wiped out. And I just started to get into like the Ibiza sax stuff. I wasn't very good at it at the beginning. And then I had all this time on my hands and was very worried about, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because before that, I've probably been doing like maybe 10, 15 weddings a year. And so at that point, I just used the time really wisely, actually. Now I reflect on it. I redid my website. I filmed a new show reel. I learned how to do SEO. And then once the world reopened, it just snowballed.
I think that's a really good point, that. And it's that weird time of the COVID. It's like me and Adam, we launched our online course just as COVID hit. And we thought, oh, it's bad timing, but it actually wasn't. It was really good because all the potential wedding videographers had all this time to learn the skills and the knowledge from our course, and then kind of put it into practice when everybody came out. They had the website set out, they had style shoots ready to go, and it was in some regard it was a really good time because you could hone down on what you do. And then when we opened up, it was like this massive springboard effect. So yeah, it was weird. It was still a bit of a weird time though, wasn't it? But
Yeah,
um,
it was really weird. And I mean, I teach now. I've only gone down to one afternoon a week. At the time, I used to teach 2 full days, so that was really what kept me going. Is a lot of my students moved online, so that kept a little bit of income. But with being self-employed, and I'd had my little boy in the like previous tax year, so I'd had 9 months off, and they were giving you like 3 years average earnings, and so it just like I had barely anything to live on at the time. So I was a bit like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I think that panic actually helped. And yeah, I did like an online SEO course. I didn't know anything about SEO, and that also had like a bit about social media. And I just think those things came at the right time. Had some time to really proper like practice the DJ sax style stuff, so that when we came out the other end, I had all this sort of ready to go.
yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff. Well, we're going to touch on your favorite marketing methods and what works best for you and what you'd recommend for other people. But I think I really want to talk about the Wedding Awards because for me, that's a great marketing tool.
Mm.
And obviously, me and Adam saw you a couple of weeks ago at the grand final in Liverpool where you were crowned the 2026.
Yeah, that's for this year.
2020
Yeah, they were
Yeah, because
the
it goes into this year. Yeah,
goes
yeah.
into this year. Yeah, so 2026. Best musical solo act, which I know about this because I'm one of the judges.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know, no pressure.
Oh, it was nice though, wasn't it? Because we met up at the start of the evening, and we are just chatting and having that drinks before the awards thing starts. And obviously, it was the first time I wasn't entered into it, so there was no pressure. Me and Howard were just hanging out, and saw you, and you're obviously like pre knowing the results, so it's the nerves and the excitement, and we was just like, oh, really? Like, because I don't know any of the other entrants into your category. Obviously, Howard seen them all, but I was just like, yes, go Lucy. And then when you were at the back and your name gets called out, we were like, yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. It was sort of nerve-wracking. I think at that point I've just been like, whatever happens, happens, because I can't change the outcome. But it was a great night either way. And then obviously to win it
Mm.
was
yeah, but
amazing.
just for context, though, as a judge, we don't get to know who the winner is.
Do you
If
know what? I didn't know if
so
you'd know or not. I knew you
no, I
obviously it's a score system, isn't it? So
yeah, and there's more than one judge, so we don't get to know who the winners are. So I didn't know. If you were thinking that I did know prior, but I
I
didn't
didn't
know.
I didn't know if you knew or not. I was like, you're not giving anything away if you do know.
Well, I thought you had a really good chance this year because you've been in it in previous years and you've always really stood out for me. I mean, maybe we can touch on that. We can talk about that. But first of all,
Well,
I want to know from you what impact has it made you actually winning the award
mm.
since you've won? Has it created more bookings? What things are you doing? Obviously, it creates a buzz around you. You've got something you can talk about and shout about online. I remember when I actually won mine, I got a booking because somebody just booked all of the winners for their wedding. So whoever the
That's
photographer
amazing.
was that won, the singer, she literally booked all the winners. So I'm wondering if you had anything similar that happened to you since you won.
It's still quite fresh. Should be like 3 weeks, 2, 3 weeks. Um, I, a, an influx of Instagram followers, and I think that's a lot of other people who follow the awards. Like I think people just go through the list and like follow everyone who's won.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So that's been positive. I've had a lot of inquiries actually this month, but you know, when it's also engagement season, so I can't necessarily say that was straight off back Twitter, whether it was also lots of people getting engaged over Christmas.
Mm.
It's definitely I think when Nathan put me in the mind of like venues and other suppliers, and when I bumped into them, they've been like, "Oh, congratulations!" Like I was at wedding fair yesterday, and just people knowing before they like as they see me, like, "Oh, congratulations!" So I think that's one of the good things is it puts you in the mind of other suppliers as you've done really well in the awards, as well as then for your couples. I think the hard thing with couples is there are quite a few different wedding awards and they're not all cut from the same cloth. So it's getting them to know this. No, this is a really important one. This is a good one.
we've always
Yeah,
said that. I've always
they're not to know, are they?
Yeah, for me, it's the best awards. There's no bias in it. Um, it goes on your couple's scoring, and obviously you have all the judges sort of backing everything up. And for me, it's the fairest awards out there. You don't have to take an article out in a magazine to win. It's
Mm.
for me, it's the fairest award, and I love it, and I really enjoy being a part of it. And there's quite a lot this year that it could have gone either way. There was a few really good ones in your category. So
But Lucy
yeah,
made a good point. On obviously you do it for trying to get couples and have them notice it, and it must be great for them to see that you've won an award and that trust if they're thinking of booking. But like you say, the suppliers on the other side is like a bonus that you don't necessarily think about when you enter. But when you've had your influx of followers on Instagram, did you notice were a lot of those suppliers or brides?
Yeah, a lot of it was other suppliers and from all different, not just my category as well, like videographers, photographers, venues, like lots of other suppliers. And I think because if you're part of that of Twitter, you know how intense it is and you know that it means a lot. You know the judging system, you know that like putting your profile together is all quite a lot of work. And so I think if when you get to that point, and no, I've looked up to the previous winners as well, you're like, that is an amazing achievement. So I think it does kind of hold you in high regard from other suppliers,
And
which
there's
is
a lot of
great.
people a
Yeah,
lot of
they're
people enter it,
recommending
isn't
you.
there? A lot of people that enter it. So, like you say, it's everyone that goes in knows that process and knows how hard it is to win. So then, if you have won it, oh, they must be good. We'll follow them. But
Yeah,
like you say, I think obviously, if you're lucky enough to get the win, or you've worked hard enough to get the win, you kind of come out of it going, oh, hopefully that'll get me some inquiries. But actually, having the connections with the suppliers is potentially a better long term because I've spoke to people and it's happened to me where planners have started following you because you've won it, or venues have started following you because you've won it, and then that can lead into the
yeah,
multiple bookings, can't it? So,
yeah, definitely.
I think
so
people see it wrong sometimes. I think there's a lot of emotion tied up in it with some people where they think, they kind of poo-poo it, and I think they don't really get it. For me, it's a real good marketing tool. I think that's how you should look at it. It's a bit like when you go to wedding fairs. You're not exactly going to get a booking from a couple on a wedding fair, but you're going to meet 20 other suppliers who you're going to get to know, and they're going to talk about you. And when they're talking to their couples, oh, I was at a wedding fair the other day and I saw this great sax player,
Yeah,
or I was at the wedding awards and she's won this year. That's, I think, where you get the real sort of beauty from it.
you've got to
Uh,
use it though, haven't you? Because even
oh,
winning it,
100%.
you've got to. I've noticed Lucy on yours, you've been sharing the official images from the awards night, and I
Yeah,
saw some pics of you on the dance floor at the end of the night and stuff.
yeah, it's a real like hard line to tell, I think, because yes, you do want to shout about it, and if you don't shout about it, nobody else is shouting about it for you. But also, then you don't want to be so in your face, especially on like my Instagram, where it's like, so what does she do? Because all I can see are these pictures of her with awards. So it's making and I also like from a personal point of view of being like, I don't want to just be like, look at all these awards, are amazing, because that's not me. But also, if I don't use them, it's like kind of back and forth of making sure people know I've won this really important award because I worked really hard for it. But also, oh yeah, by the way, I sing and play saxophone and I can do that at
Yeah.
your wedding.
You can just balance it and schedule it into your
Yeah.
content, I suppose, can't you? Because you've got to have a mix of stuff. But then this goes back to what you did in COVID and at this time of year, which is why the awards, it's great that it's in January because you need this time, this chunk of time to work on your business. Because in the summer, when we're working in the business and there's no time to do anything.
No, no.
So, what have you got a plan with kind of how you're going to use it or in terms of content on socials?
Um, well, I do try and schedule certain posts, so I'm trying to make sure it's not too in your face. It's sort of within other posts. And this time of year, like it is that sort of dead time of year for content anyway. Like, what can I drag up that I haven't used before? And I'm really rubbish at reusing content. I should do that more. Like, I start sharing things I did in the summer, but I'm rubbish at that, to be honest. But yeah, I've contacted local media and I've had a few like local media run the story, like local newspapers and things. Um, and that's sort of where I'm at with it. And then I was just literally today making sure that on my all my website pages it mentions it because I did it on the homepage and I was like, oh yeah, but I'm sure there's somewhere else. So if anyone goes on any page, it should say 2026 national winner rather than the other bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just making the most of it.
Do you know what, the media thing's a good point? I didn't know this. When I've seen people get mentioned in local newspapers and articles where they're from, and how do you get a newspaper to notice you and want to talk about you. But I didn't realize you can just contact them and go, look what I've done. Do you want to?
Yeah,
That's
I
what
mean,
I
to
did.
be
Yeah.
honest, they send out a media pack now. So once you win regionally or nationally, they send out a media pack, and it's literally a copy and like you could just insert your name here, insert your town here, and so you've got this press release. And I just then was like, right, let's Google search all the local media. Nowhere big picked it up. I've done radio interviews before, but none of them are biting this time. But I'll try it again in a few weeks. But yeah, so North Somerset Times ran it and Western and World Mercury ran it. So that was good. And they literally did just lift the entire press release and put it in along with the images I sent them. So thanks to Swear for I didn't really have to do much work other than enter my name, enter your town. It's great. Sorry, I'm just gonna let the dog out.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that I don't think people realize. I think they have to wait till there are contacts, but you can literally
Yeah, I had
contact
no idea.
all your local papers and just say, oh, just let you know, I've just won an award. And you got to think these publications that they want stories. They're trying to find story every day. They're trying to fill them newspapers. So they really want this sort of thing. So anything you do, any achievement or anything you want to talk about within your business, yeah, let them know.
Yeah,
It's the
but
first
what?
thing I
That's
did
a
when I won the awards. I think I did that one. Then I did another one where I met Michael Bublé. I think that got in the paper. And they made a whole story around it. I think, yeah, from because I used to be a garage door fitter. I think there was a story there from going to garage doors to becoming a wedding singer, and
Yeah.
so yeah, it's good. So
well,
yeah,
it's a good
always
thing to
use
do.
these things.
But do you know that's more powerful that someone else has said it about you than you shouting it yourself and going, "Look at me, look what I've done." So
Yeah.
it
I think
seems more powerful, doesn't it?
especially with their online, because I don't know if it went into print, but it was on their online news, and they on those online news articles they have loads a day, so they need local news, and they need to mix it up from those good positive stories to other terrible things that are going on in the world. So yeah,
I think it's always better coming from somebody else as well. I mean, this just grinds my gears. This, so I can go on shout on social media all the time about I can do this for your wedding. We can have a great atmosphere. Trust me, we're gonna have a brilliant day. Get an inquiry. Don't hear anything. A month later, oh, our friends saw you at a wedding last week. Can we have a meeting? Well, we want a book. So yeah, but you inquired all them months ago when I said we could. They've had to hear it from somebody else before they
yeah,
come through, and it's like no, just
Social proof. Wouldn't it
go
be
and have
nice
social proof.
if you could just say, I'm really good. I'm amazing. Book me." And it
Yeah.
work every time.
yeah. But then the
Unbelievable.
awards help that you go like, yeah, I'm really good, and also I won this award. Oh, and also your venue recommends me, so that's three ticks.
There you
Yeah,
go. There
is
you
it the
go.
six is it
Yeah.
6 times you've got here before you're convinced or something?
Yeah,
There's a
something like that, isn't
psychology.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hairdresser, venue, online, photographer, they know you. Yeah, that's why you've got to keep those networks going.
Yeah,
And there's still real place. I know there's a big buzz around AI and paid ads and things, but there's such a place for those referrals and that marketing side, that networking side to your business, which is really important. Bringing it back to business, how many weddings do you do every year?
last year I did a lot. I think it was about 120 something. Uh, I know. It's weird because I've never had like a cap because I've never got into a point where it's been like I have to cut it off. It's just if I get an inquiry and I'm free on that day and I can make it work, then I'll take it on. I've just been very wary of like how many ceremonies I take on because that involves learning new songs most of the time. So my brain is only of a size and I don't like to rely on lyrics. I like to properly learn the song. So that's how I've always had to do when I was in bands and in theatre shows. You can't have the lyrics. So I just think, and I will properly show emotion and be able to concentrate on, how long have I got left before this bridesmaid's going to get down and not be looking worrying about I don't actually know what the words are.
Yeah.
And the same with saxophone as well. So I try and make sure I don't only take on a certain amount of ceremonies. But if I'm just turning up and playing with a DJ, and because I play by ear, to me that's other than the physical driving to the venue, performing and going home. It's like I love it and it's easy because I'm not having to do that much prep. So I and also I don't have anything afterwards, not like photographers and videographers who have to do the edit. Once that one is on, is ticked. I just got the work before if I'm having to learn music. So it's just making sure I don't take on too much of that. But last year I just ended up there was a lot of like, oh, saxophone players like let us down last minute. Are you available? And I'd look and be like, well, actually I've got a wedding, but I can get from there to there. And I just think when people plan their weddings for such a long time, and one of the things they wanted for their day was a saxophone player, and they've reached out and they're in a panic, and I'm like, do you know what, I can do it. So,
Of course.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Do you know,
So
I go through that. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I've got enough bookings and I've got to think about the edit time and am I going to be able to fit it in? But then that thought of, but what if that person really wants a video and then they don't have one and then they regret it and I could have done it for them? Like, there's a part of me, I'm the same. I just want to help people in that way.
yeah,
yeah, we're quite lucky, me and you, Lucy, because like you say, there's nothing else to do, so we can take a book and we can just go and rock it, and that's it.
Ugh,
There's
yeah,
ugh, ugh.
no days of edits afterwards, and there's a little bit of pre-planning with what I do because I host the day. But to be honest, it's just a phone call or usually a Zoom or a meeting where I get all the details of the couple, and so that's all I've got to do really, just get all the details from the day, and it's
yeah.
quite easy in that regard,
Same,
isn't it?
yeah, any requests, or what you've got a special song to learn for first dance, whatever. But
No,
yeah,
I
once
don't
it's
even do
done.
that. So no, no, it's just if you want to book me, you just do what I say and that's it. Um, I'm
He
only
does as
Pretty
well.
joking.
good.
No, he does.
I'm
He does.
only, I'm only joking. Right, so I wanted to pull it back the business side of it then. So 120 gigs a year, roughly, averagely. So how do you get them gigs? What's the standout sort of technique you use, or the standout thing that brings most of those bookings? Some's
Uh,
got to be more than the others.
yeah, Instagram. I have on my contact form on my website. How did you hear about me? And also, they can't leave it blank because it won't send until they fill it in. So Instagram's a big one. Google search, and then it's usually recommendations in that order. Yeah.
So with the Instagram then, is this just organic content or is this a combination of paid and organic?
I've never done paid on Instagram. I don't know really how to. So it's just, yeah, I've just been consistent with it. I try and post 3 times a week minimum. And that'll be a mixture of reels and photos. And I know there's always that sort of call to action thing, but I try to just think, okay, so I've got these pictures that were sent to me from a bride from their wedding, and I've not used them before, so I'll spread them out over like a couple of weeks with a different caption, whether it's like your dance floor could look like this, or depending what the picture is. Reels, it's hard to do reels at this time of year because I don't have much content. But then I did like a freebie gig for a venue recently, and they had a content creator there, and I brought one of my photographer friends. I was like, do you know what? Let's just get as much content as I can from this, and then I've
Mm.
got something to keep me going until weddings kick in again. So it's just trying to, and it took me a while to get this whole strategy. And now I sit down every Tuesday and I plan for an hour. I plan my content for the next week for an hour. And like this week, I'll probably do a bit longer because we're going into half term and I want to try and not be on social media as much when I'm, got time with the kids. So getting them all those posts sort of scheduled, and then I don't have to worry about it for a week and a bit. And
So
I think it is just that consistency as well. Like if, especially if couples follow you because you've been recommended or they've seen you at wedding fair or they saw you at a friend's wedding, and then you just keep slipping up on their feed. It's like you say about that 6 touch points. They've, and it's different. Oh, there's a reel. Oh, there's a picture of a plane, whatever. And I think that helps as well, kind of that familiarity.
You've got
The
100.
Instagram is great for our businesses. It really is because it's so visual. People can see. That's really interesting. That so most of it comes from Instagram and non-paid organic. So that's
I
good. I
just
think the
want to
planning. Go on.
quickly slip in that you've done 120 weddings in a year and you've not got any content to put on at this time.
No, well, I have.
Well, you're
I
always
think.
playing, aren't you?
I
So
think, yeah. I won't set up my phone and record when I'm doing anything because I just feel like then my attention's to my phone a little bit, and I'm not really concentrating on what I'm doing if I'm worried about my phone. And I tried it once, and then everyone was up in front of the camera like, "Ray," and I was like, yeah, no, this is not.
Mm.
This isn't what I wanted to record.
I'm pulling you up on it. I'm worse. I'm terrible. I don't post any.
Yeah,
I've
and I did
never
one to the
repurposed them.
camera last year. I was like, oh, I'll tell you what, it's like a 360 thing. And I was like, I'll put that on. And then the footage was just not great quality. I was like, no, I don't want to put that on
Mm.
my social media. So I tend to, if I'm working with DJs, I'm like, oh, can you just record a bit and then send it to me? Because I'll just be doing my normal thing then. I don't really watch what they're doing, or I'll ask the couples, after the wedding, be like, if you've got any videos that you're happy for me to share on social media. And obviously they want to
Yeah, nice.
share everything about their amazing day, so they'll send me stuff, and that tends to be how I do it.
Do you find I struggle with the balance of I'm there to do a job and look after the couple and the atmosphere, and
Yeah.
versus I need to film some stuff for this, but I don't want to turn it into a video shoot, and I don't want to attract attention to myself, and I don't want the couples thinking I'm milking their wedding for marketing.
Yeah, that I I try in every wedding, I try and get a like picture of their welcome to our wedding sign, and maybe like it depends what part of the wedding day I'm doing, but I might just scan the room when it's empty in the ceremony room, or if they're doing their first dance and I'm not performing it, like do a quick video of that. And then at the end of every month or the beginning of the next month, I put together a reel of like February weddings. I won't this year because I got one February wedding, but March weddings. And so then everyone gets to see a little bit of their day that I was there for, which they won't have seen. But I don't want to do it when I'm performing because yeah, that's not what I've been paid for. I'm not there to get content for my own social media. And if I get
You know what?
anything,
I've
great.
got to jump in here. I've got to jump in here. I think I've seen this argument online with some other singing friends, and it's been talked about a while. And I think sometimes people are a bit hung up on it. You know what I'm like when I do my weddings. I've got my selfie stick and I'm doing all sorts. I've never give it a second thought that I shouldn't be doing that. And I always get it next day after. The couple say, "Oh, we saw you with your camera. Can you please send us any footage?" They actually love it. They get the benefit from it.
But they
I've
see that on your socials, don't they? That you're doing that, and that's part of your act in a way.
kind of, kind
So
of,
I
because I'm
think they know to
yeah.
expect it. Whereas I think, yeah, that's never been part of me. And also, I don't have enough hands.
Well, I think it's different with me because I'm not putting it on a tripod
Yeah.
and filming myself. I'm kind of doing it in the moment with my stick and yeah, getting everybody and it never feels weird for me. It always feels that it's fine and my couples love it as well. But I think having something on a tripod there to film you, yeah, is a bit too much. But if you're in the moment, you can grab a little bit of footage, and those little bits of footage can be really good, and it gives you a bit of content.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
don't
I
don't strap
think
one to your head
do
like that.
you know what? When I put the camera I bought last year, I did actually put it like on my like shoulder at one point, and then all I really got was my hand playing saxophone. I was like, I was like, I can't put it on my head because I look like an absolute idiot, and I can't put it like anywhere in your chest, like because the saxophone's in the way. So I was like, oh, well, that's gone. And I know some of the DJs you do like 360 cameras, and they're really good, but again, it's like it's yeah, it's getting the right footage, and then you've got to scroll through the whole night to find maybe 2 minutes of like really buzzy stuff. I don't know. It's definitely.
The Ray-Bans, they're discreet, aren't they? The Ray-Ban Metas.
I've not seen these.
Yeah,
Do you
they're
know about the
good.
Meta? So just they're glasses with cameras on them.
No, I'm gonna have to look into this.
Meta
Meta
have
glasses.
collaborated with Ray-Ban and other brands to like glasses with cameras. So basically, whatever you're seeing is recording.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
so
but you
that'd
got
be
to wear
good.
glasses though. If it doesn't go in with your
But
look,
so you'd have
I
to wear,
think
yeah,
I
you'd have
might
to wear
wear
the
sunglasses
glasses.
in the day.
But then that's more discreet and less obvious because, I mean, Howard, maybe you're right. Maybe it's all in my head. But part of me goes, if I'm doing this and filming something for me, am I missing out on actually doing? Because I mean, I'm supposed to be recording the day, but if I'm recording me, am I prioritizing that over recording a moment that I might miss otherwise? And like, you can
don't
miss
worry about it.
loads of stuff in the day, and it's fine. But then,
Yeah,
are you then doing your utmost best? But yeah,
I think
maybe
you
it's
it's
in my head.
definitely
I
a
don't know.
contentious issue. I always
I
find
think you
now
can
because
document
obviously
though, can't you?
the
I think you
content
can still
creators are becoming
still
so much
document.
more popular that if I spy a content creator, I'm like, I'll just ask them and then they'll send
Yeah,
me it. And it's not obviously all of me, but there's enough that sometimes I can make a reel from that as well.
And I think
yeah.
also because it's becoming more of a thing and people are seeing reels a lot more of this style of video, then I think couples expect it a bit more and are more accustomed to it as well. So
Mhm.
you're probably right. I'm probably overthinking it. It's probably an excuse because I hate doing it. I'm probably just convincing myself that it's the wrong thing to do because I don't want to do it.
But I bought like a proper phone tripod thing as well. So I was like, yeah, I should get more content. And then all I ever use it for is if I get to a venue early enough and I'm like, oh, I've actually got time to film some of me singing or playing or whatever, I'll get it, set it up then. But then as soon as people start arriving, I'm like, nope, done. Pack it away. I don't leave it running.
It is Instagram. So just this morning I got an email from Vimeo, which is the platform I use for my to post my videos online. And so on my website, every video is a Vimeo hosted video. So I get the stats emails from Vimeo saying how many times you've been viewed this week. So I got like a monthly newsletter, and I had it. I don't. I'm assuming it's accurate, but in the last week, I've had 5 unique viewers of my videos on my website. And I only use Vimeo for my website, so I know that this is definitely my website videos. And I've only had 5 unique viewers in the last week, but I've had about a dozen inquiries in the last week. So if that's 12 people that have inquired, only 5 of them have actually been to my website. And you know that most of them will just have gone through Instagram, and because a lot of them a lot of these inquiries were through Instagram. But then in my head, I'm like, well, they're clearly not looking at my films on my website, which is what I want them to look at. They're just looking at stuff on my Instagram, which is not, I like, by my own sort of admission, it's not up to scratch. My Instagram stuff is like small clips, or there's not, and it's not the best content. I'm not like, I don't post regularly enough. Um, but I want them to book me on the films rather than just, and I just feel like it's going that way now where people are only looking at your Instagram and just go flicking through a few reels and going, yeah, we like the sound of them, we'll just inquire. And the amount of couples I speak to and I say, have you seen any of my full videos on my website? And they're like, no, just been on your Instagram. And it's like, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
mean,
this is what you're paying for. If you do want to book me, this is what you're getting. I want you to see it and experience it and go, oh yeah, we want that, rather than just, oh, it looks like fun. But then if that's how the market is going, then maybe we should be leaning more
yeah,
towards
People
that.
have got such short attention spans nowadays, haven't they? They just want
yeah.
that big
It's just
time.
frustrating. It's just
I know.
I don't
Yeah,
like it.
I mean, quite often I have to push people to my website for the contact form because then it goes into my CRM because I lose DMs and things like that. And you like, so you haven't seen like everything I've mentioned on my website. It is just literally it's sold on Instagram videos, which might just be like a shaky camera of me playing the same song, which I've played lots on my Instagram. And
Mm.
yeah, but
But it's
that's what
working though. It's
done them.
working,
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
Great.
Interesting.
We've got to
I'm
bring it back.
assuming.
We've got to bring it back. Business. We've got to bring it business, Adam. Business,
Well,
business,
I
business.
thought I'm guessing you're done with the awards because we moved past that. But I wanted to ask them about the awards that we never got around to.
oh god, okay.
Go on, go on.
Well, it was more because how would you judge their category?
Yeah.
What was there anything when you've gone through? Obviously, you've uh with how it works, you judge and rate
Yeah, get
first,
up the
second, and third.
profiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Gold,
just
silver,
that's just
bronze.
you've gone through and you've selected your top three, and then the other judges the same, and it all gets, and you don't know about the final results. But when you're looking at those profiles for the finalists, what is it that you're looking for, and is there anything that you remember of Lucy's that stood out over anyone else's sort of thing?
Well, yeah, I suppose this is kind of advice for people who are going in the awards,
That's what I mean.
isn't
Yeah.
it? What would you do? What makes you stand out above the rest? So everything's got to be on point. You've got to have you've got to have a good ratio from your votes to your how many. What's the word I'm looking for, Adam? Votes to
Wedding's done.
votes to when it's done.
Yeah.
They've got to you've got to get them right from the start to give you a chance going through anyway. So if if you said you've done 200 weddings and you've got 2 votes, you're probably not going to get through even to the regionals.
Mm.
Got to marry that up. I think it even says that on the guidelines of the Wedding Industry
Yeah, it
Awards,
does. Yeah.
which nobody reads. And
Oh,
I
I
still
read
see
it.
I still see it now where people have put, oh yeah, we do 500 weddings. You've got 20 votes. I think they think that it sounds really good. They've done all these weddings, but if you've not got the votes to back it up, then it's obviously bullshit. So that's got to be married up for one. But having everything on point, obviously the website's got to really show your wedding work, what you do in the wedding industry, and why should people book you. So your website's got to be on point. Your social media, you've got to be consistent on your social media. You've the how you answer the questions which we read makes a real difference. But for me, one thing that I always like is, again, when you set your profile out, make sure it's got plenty of videos on there and plenty of photographs. Certainly with the videos, but I love it when people make a video for the judges. Hi, judges. I am Lucy Harvey. This is my video for you. Why should I win the wedding awards? Well, let me tell you why. So it just makes it much more personal. It makes me realize that you've made the effort to want to win. Because I look at some of the profiles and it's like they've not even. I look at them and think, why have you gone in it? You've not made an effort. You've just done.
You know what though? That was probably my first year entering because I didn't know what to expect. And I remember like I was umming and ahhing about doing it because you have to pay, and I was like, oh, is this going to be any good? And so I paid, and it comes up with a profile to fill out. And I remember sitting on the sofa, and like my little boy was probably like 3 at the time, and he was like climbing all over me, and I was like, oh god, I'll just do this really quickly, and like added some pictures and some videos, and like just whatever came to my head as I was filling out the profile, and did it. And then I was a regional finalist that year, but I didn't get anything. Like I didn't win regionally. And then I remember thinking, oh, well, maybe I should probably try a bit harder with with these things. And it's only when you see, and you go and look at your competitors and who've won and what's on their website and think, well, I'm doing all those things, but I just not show it. And that was part of it. I just wasn't putting it in writing. So and it was like a 4-year thing for me. Like each year I got a step closer. So and
They
improve
stand
my
out.
business.
I mean, you stood out, but good contenders jump off the page at you. You know you're very good at what you do in your technical ability, if you're performing and you're singing, which is a given. Everything's. We look for everything to see. Yeah, this is a great person at what they do, but how does that equate to their business? And let's see how they contact how they communicate with their couples, how they present to themselves online. Yeah, and I think for me, it's just showing that effort that you really want to win makes the difference. For me anyway, it's because it's. I think I judge it across the board. It's not just so. Imagine somebody judging Adam's category. They might think I'm judging this on the video, the best video. I'm going to put that through. But the way that I judge it is very different. It's across the whole board. How you are with your couples, what your website says. Are you great at what you do? Yes, you are. Have you made an effort? Have you made a separate video for the judges? Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to have done 200 weddings. You can have done 20, and it doesn't really matter. So yeah, anybody going in here, that's what you need to do really. Just set your stuff out to win, and like you say, look at the previous winners. How have they stood out? And people like Francesca. I mean, when she won it, when I judged her, she really jumped off the page, and it's like that she had tried so hard to win this competition. She had to win. You know what I mean? So
I think that translates into everything though, because it's going back to social media. You could. Oh, I need to. Yeah, everyone tells me I need to do more posts on Instagram. So you post the reel, and it gets 10 likes, and you go, that didn't work, and they just give up. And it's because that reel that you've put on, you've just used the generic music, and you've not put captions on it, or you've not the production values, or there's no hook, or there's no thought behind it, and then it gets 5 likes and 20 views, and you just go,
I think also
I give
with
up,
that
I
on
give up.
social media, you've got to like know that not every video is going to get a lot of likes, and it's like it doesn't matter. Don't even look at. I don't even look at the likes now. I
Mm,
might look at the views just to see how many people it's reached. But I don't care about likes because it's still I know it's showing up on people's feeds and it's reminding them that I exist. And
of
yeah,
course,
it's the long,
but
the longer, bigger
yeah,
picture rather
yeah,
than
yeah.
that. Oh, that only got 2 likes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. But as well as that, there's got to be an intentionality to not
yeah. You
every time
can't
you
just
post.
post stuff for
You
for the
can't
sake
just
of
get away
posting.
with I'll just enter the awards and just half-ass the application. I'll
Well,
just
that's
I'll
what I
just
did the first
I'll
year.
just post a reel and I'll just see what happens. Like you've got to really think about it and put the effort in, which I
Yeah.
mean is logical. Like you've got to work at it and put loads of effort in to get the results. But I think with
And I think
with
that's
social
why
media, you used to be able to get away with just posting stuff and it would get you inquiries. But
I
Well,
think also that's why
I've
a lot
just
of
got to
people
jump in
sort of
here. I've got to jump in here with this point because I'm going to ask you, Lucy, what has been the best performing type of post that you've done? What is it? What is that content?
the
If you
Tweer
know,
win, the Tweer win.
it's where you
It
win.
is really that's had like that's been my most viewed reel so far this year, but also last year as well. And I think it's because actually other suppliers end up either liking it or sharing it or and a lot of my followers are other suppliers as well as couples, so they always seem to like rock it. And because people want to support you, because there's a lovely way industry to work in really, and everyone's out there like supporting each other, so they do really well. And other than that, it'll be um just something random usually, just like when I'm Paid You Bell, because that's such a big saxophone number, that one always use I end up posting it quite a lot, so that gets a lot of likes. Yeah, it is a I've got no formula for it.
Well, I'll
It
tell you
just,
what, let me tell
yeah,
you mine. Let me tell you mine. So, like you say, Adam was saying, oh, you've got to put your thought into it. Da, da, da. So my best performing posts on my Instagrams and that is family holidays.
really. I try and keep my Instagram
Family
just for
holidays.
business.
So I'm
I
like,
don't put anything like that on.
I spend ages, right? I need to get some clips, make some nice reels, do some stuff, put some of me singing in, and all the people partying. Yeah, this is a great reel. Brilliant. I've had 200 likes. A little clip of us like in Abersock or in Spain or somewhere. It's thousands of views. It's like, what the fuck? So, so I think, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I suppose it tells a story, really, doesn't it? That people are really interested in you personally, rather than just what you do.
Yeah,
So we always say you've got to have a mix of everything with your social media. You know, a lot of your professional stuff when you're out there performing or doing what you do, but with that mix of the personal stuff, so people
yeah,
relate to you a
definitely.
bit more.
And then
Right.
I don't do many on my actual career of me talking to camera. Actually, that's a lie because I got some professional like interview videos done last year. And so I've been mixing it up with content of that so people can actually see me just speaking to camera and get to know me, which I think is really healthy. But also on stories, I tend to try and talk a little bit more on stories,
Yeah,
sort of
Francesca
more
does it
behind the
really
scenes,
well.
isn't it?
Francesca does it really well. She's constantly talking to the camera, like, "Hi guys, back from a gig. Oh, it's been
Mm.
amazing today." And then it's just that, but it just keeps you in you know, it keeps you in your mind, doesn't it? I suppose. But
Yeah, and then people also feel like they know you. I know there was a couple of years ago, like my windscreen cracked on my car. It was really annoying. It was only tiny, but then it was like going each day, and I kept being like, "Oh, it's a bit further today. I'm getting it fixed." And then I got to one of my weddings. They're like, "Oh, how's your car? You got the windscreen fixed?" And so people do follow you and sort of interested in your life other than actually performing.
yeah, they do, they do, they do, they do. Uh,
It's-
Great. Right, quick. Should we do some quick fire questions?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Quick
Yeah,
fire
through that.
questions. Lucy, dream wedding venue.
Oh, I don't know. A dream. I'd love to do a destination weddings. I haven't done one since I had kids. But I know that it's always the great idea, but then actually the practicalities of flying and all that isn't great. I don't know if I've got a dream one that I haven't done. Have I? Probably. I don't
Dream
think.
wedding venue you've done.
Oh, tunnels, beaches.
Tunnels, beaches.
Have you guys
Nice.
been there? It's Devon.
No, I know of it. We looked at booking it for my wedding.
Oh, did you?
Looks stunning.
It,
I'd love to film there.
yeah, it's brilliant. It's really vibey. It's got like they're just very relaxed. It's very like seaside, like just chill. But it's just no other weddings are like the tunnels ones. They just got their own thing there, and yeah, it's
You
really
have to
nice.
go through a sound limiter. You have to go
It's
through a
not a
sound.
sound limiter, and they let and in the daytime I use my own PA and everything. Just it links up to into like
The
the
in-house
XLR
system.
inputs, and it goes through their system. But the DJs are also allowed to still use their own speaker.
Okay.
Um, but then it comes out on all three floors of the building. So that's part of it, is that so you can hear it everywhere, especially when they're making announcements, or if they're down, there's bars, it's two bars, but there's a bar downstairs as well. So you can still hear, like, I'll still be playing saxophone, you can still hear it through their system. So it's
Yeah,
quite a
Right.
good idea.
you'd want that, wouldn't you? I think
Yeah.
so
Right.
that it doesn't.
Two controversial questions.
Oh no. Okay.
Number one, kids at weddings, yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you're a no person to that, then cool, and it's a different vibe, but I'm not against it. I got kids, so
I've got to add to this. I've got to add to this. A few kids is fine, like six or so kids, seven
Oh
maybe.
yeah, when there's like
But
20 kids and it's like, whoa. Yeah, I do get that.
20 kids at a wedding turns your wedding into like it's like a nursery.
Yeah.
And the parents are running after the kids. They're not relaxed,
Well,
enjoying
they're
the
not
day.
also, they're like trying to enjoy themselves. And so it does become like a bit of a free for all that the kids are like,
Yeah,
yeah, great, we can get away with anything. I've seen this before as well. And they're like running around everywhere and getting in the way. But I'm not against it because, it's for
I'm
all
not
ages, isn't
against
it?
it, but I'm against a lot of kids. I think just keep it minimal. And sometimes some little kids, a few kids can be really good. They can make a nice
Mm.
atmosphere. Certainly, if I can get them singing along and great for pictures, but just don't fill it with loads of kids. Right. Second controversial question: speeches before dinner or after dinner?
I mean, it doesn't really pay any heed to me because I usually don't work in the wedding
You're not.
breakfast.
All right. Wrong
But
question
I
for
know
you.
I know photographers Well, personally, I like them at the end because if I am there for the all day, then you've got to wait for the speeches to be done till you get fed. And I'm absolutely starving by then. So I'm like, wait till the end because I'll get fed. But I know the room looks neater and tidier if they do them first, rather than having like all the dirty cutlery and stuff. So either or.
I think do them at the end personally. Personally.
Yeah, feed
Only,
people because they're hungry.
This
only,
Howard's got
only if
these
you've got
list
dinner
of
entertainment. Because why not? Why we're wasting a crowd, aren't we? I think so. For me, we can get that crowd whipped up. There's a booming atmosphere. Everybody's fed, watered, and entertained. Then you're going to hit with speeches. You're much more confident. There's a more
Yeah.
better atmosphere in the room. But anyway, that's just my vibe.
just a
People just
list of loaded questions that Howard's asking in order to try and
So you can give his
push
answer.
everyone into his way of doing it.
All right, I
right.
don't mind.
Well, so we've got another one here. So, what? One thing you wish couples stopped worrying about.
Ooh.
Oh, the how planning their song down the aisle for like, and then we're gonna come in at this point, and I'm like, honestly, it will go how it goes on the day. Somebody might walk slower, or somebody might have forgotten a bouquet, or don't worry about walking down the aisle at specific points. Like, just enjoy walking down the aisle. I will take care of the music. Don't worry about like, do we need to be this length? And can you add this in? I've got it sorted. You just enjoy your moment.
So
I
I
had a
see
lot
this
of
a
that
lot.
last year
I see this a
because
lot.
they'd be like, "Oh, yeah,
The anxiety of the bridesmaids of going, oh, I've got to get there. I'll do 10 seconds and then we'll count and then in this bit you go, but you've got to be quick because then you've got to get through.
I had one once
People
where
put so much emphasis on it because it's a big moment.
yeah, I had
But the
one once where
reality is just yeah.
the bride didn't tell me that they were going to wait to a certain point in the song to start walking. So I started the song. I think it was Songbird by Eva Cassidy, and I'm singing it, and I can see the bridesmaid queuing outside, and then nobody's walking in. And my heart was going. I was like, "Oh my god, am I doing the wrong song? Am I doing the wrong? Why is nobody walking in? Because this is definitely the right song." Like overthinking everything. And I sang a whole verse in chorus, and nobody walked in. And I was like, "I'm actually going to run out of song. Why is nobody walking in?" And then they started walking in the instrumental, and I was just like, "Did something go wrong?" Like you question, whilst also being smiley and like nothing to see here.
Yeah.
I don't know why nobody's walking in. And I still to this day I didn't get a chance to actually speak to her about it. But I was like, was something wrong? Was there a hold up, or had they just decided they were going to walk in at that point and not tell me? Because that was stress. That was stressful. Yeah, so don't overthink the aisle walk. Just enjoy it.
There you go. There you go. That's a good bit of advice. Good bit of advice. What do you think, Adam? What's your? How would you answer that question?
Forgotten what the question was.
Well, the question is one thing you wish couples would stop worrying
Oh,
about.
stop worrying about. Yeah, good. One thing. Probably quite a few, isn't
Yeah,
there?
there's more than one, isn't there? Yeah.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I think it is probably uh like the content and the visuals and the aesthetics and like once you get to it, you've planned really hard and you want it to look a certain way. But just relax and enjoy it. I see couples and bridesmaids and parents and siblings who are like on the day just constantly looking around, switched on, like, oh, that's not where it's supposed to be, and just roll with it and enjoy it. I think once it happens, it happens. And then you get the more authentic, genuine moments that
Yeah,
afterwards you go, oh, that didn't go to plan, but how great, like the weather didn't go to how you wanted
yeah,
it, but it's okay, you know.
So yeah, yeah.
Um,
Nice.
yeah, I think just make wanting to it to look pristine for the photos. Which you want nice photos, of course, but if you're thinking along those lines because you want it to look good, but you're not enjoying yourself and you're not present, then you're going to regret it, I think.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than like an Instagrammy bride who wants to take pictures of herself all day with the phone throughout the wedding. No, I've come across that a couple of times. It's like put your phone down and enjoy the day.
I was trying to be a bit more diplomatic than just come out with that. But yeah,
We've all
yeah,
seen
those couples, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just you plan it so well, and you put all this time and effort, and you're going to spend all day Instagramming yourself. Today is all
If
about
that's
you,
if
and
that's your bag, then have at it. It's your wedding. Do what you want.
all right, fair enough. I'm just saying that's all. Um, I think one thing for me really is always around the speeches. They worry about it. A big percentage worry about it more than probably what they should do. They think they've got to be a perfect public speaker, and it's like you don't. You've just got to stand up, say thank you, raise a glass, and that's all it has to be. And they
And keep the
worry.
microphone close. That's the only annoying thing about speeches when they're and then you get feedback. So that's all you have to worry about is keeping the microphone close to your mouth and then just talk.
Tell them every time, keep it
Oh,
close to
it's
your mouth, and
so
then start
annoying.
speaking, and then they do that.
I know.
It's like fucking. It's not.
And then you can't turn it up because there's going to be feedback. It's like, I know it feels uncomfortable if you've never held a microphone before to keep it, but just that's if you can do that, because then people are like, what? I can't hear, and it ruins the whole thing. Just keep the microphone close.
There you go. That's the best bit of advice for the whole podcast. Doing speeches, keep your mic close to your mouth. Right. Where else are we going, Adam? Come on. We're not far off,
well, this quick fire round that's taken about 15 minutes so far, and we've only got three questions. My sister what would you do if you weren't a sax player / singer?
Now, when you've asked this question before, I assume whatever you pick, you're good at. You're just automatically good at it.
No, not
Oh
necessarily.
yes, yeah. So if you
that's what I
decide you want to
So
do it, you're just good at it instantly. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I
Yeah. Sorry, I'm with you now.
because I just like be great at it. I'd like to do cakes because I'm rubbish at baking. And I think the creativity in cakes, I could well get into that, all the intricate designs, but I just rubbish at it. But then I was thinking about this because I've overthought the question. But then you don't actually get to enjoy the wedding day. The cake makers, they turn up and they set the cake. They don't do any, like they don't get to enjoy the day. So as much as I'd like to do it because then I'd be good at making cakes, I'd miss out on the whole day. So yeah.
I like that you are
really want to be able to bake.
You're taking advantage of our question in order to make yourself better at baking, so you could just make good cakes. But no, I agree. I would never want to do a job that doesn't allow you to be part of the wedding day.
Yeah.
In a for more than half an hour in the morning setting up sort of thing.
When I was thinking about it, because I've thought about this, I was like, just because I want to be good at baking, but yeah, you would miss like the actual atmosphere, and I can't imagine doing a part of a wedding where actually you're not physically there for part of the day and getting to experience it.
What's your favorite part? Favorite part of the day?
I really like first dance because the couples are like pulled from pillar to post all day, and they don't actually get much time together, as we know. And actually, it's only 2 or 3 minutes, and I know not everyone likes first dance, and it doesn't have to be a soppy, slow dance, but they actually get to hold each other and talk for a few minutes. And even if it's like, oh my god, this is embarrassing, everyone's watching us, like they actually scared. I think I don't know. It's a musical moment, and it is it's one of my favorites.
Mine's still fresh because I only got married last year, so our first dance, the entirety of it, we just were going, what should we do next? Shall I spin you? You step that way and I'll go this. What right? And where's the music up to? Which bit do I lift you? I can't remember. We just like negotiated it the whole way through. I still enjoyed it.
It's like, shouldn't overthink it, but yeah, you could actually just get a moment together, and I think it's a nice moment.
Adam, stop overthinking it. Right, just enjoy the moment.
No, but you are, because you're like, there's cameras on you as well, and it's like, well, especially for you, probably like, well, if I do a spin, is that going to look good in the edit? And that sort of thing.
I had to look good on the video. That was all that mattered, really. No, I still enjoyed it. It was just we were laughing as we were doing it. We were like, this is ridiculous. Like we're just talking through the dance as we're dancing. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and also,
everyone's staring at us. How mad's this?
How often do you have a slow dance with your partner? Really? Like never. So I don't know. I just think it's one of those things that you do on your wedding day, and it's a nice little special moment.
Try and do it. I try and do it in the kitchen.
Lucy, with your partner.
No. Our kitchen's quite small, actually. If we're both in the kitchen, I'm like, he's obviously stood in front of whatever cupboard I want to get into, as husbands do. So you're like, get out of the way.
There's your cue.
The dance of like who's going which way. I need to get to the cupboard. That's about as. Oh, what was my next one? I had another. Oh, can we end on this one actually? I just want to know
what. We're going to ask the question from the last.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. But I just wanted to ask as well. Good, just to round it off, going back to business. What you're focusing on this year going forward? Maybe it's something off the back of your win, or what's your like aside from just fulfilling all your weddings, like what you wanting to progress this year?
There's definitely I've got a few like venues I'd like to be on the recommended supplier list. So I I did get some good advice. Somebody said you should just contact all your venues and other suppliers and be like, by the way, have you seen that I've won? And I was like, I can't do that. That's embarrassing. But then I think when I'm actually at some of the venues I'm not on a supplier list for, I might be like, oh, by the way, did you know? Or they might bring it up, and then it's one of
Just
these hard things
take
with
your
getting.
award with you. Look what I've
Yeah.
got.
What's this? Yeah. So there's some definite supply lists I'm not on that I want to be on, and that's the main thing. I've got a new saxophone, so I need lots of new content with my new shiny saxophone because it sounds so good. I'm very happy with that purchase. And then it's just sort of little upgrades. You're like, well, maybe I should get this. Just sort of spend a lot of money, obviously.
Mm.
Upgrading things and yeah, supply lists and trying to shout about the award win.
For the people that are listening and not viewing, Howard's just showing us his award.
Oh, I can't see.
Can
It's
you
gone
not
on
see
the
20,
it?
main screen.
2014, that. Look at that. Not as sexy as the new awards, is it, Lucy?
Well, do
Look
you
at
know
the
what?
new awards. Look at that.
I was that. I had that the round ones, big round ones, on my screensaver for about 3 years. So I was like, I want it, and I'm gonna
Manif
look at it every day.
Manifest.
And then they
Yeah.
changed them.
Yeah, it's good.
Manifestation. That's good. It's good. I like
That's
that.
it. Yeah.
The only reason I'm bringing it out because it brought back a memory of when I had a meeting with a couple once. It wasn't long after I won the awards, and I actually took my award to the meeting. What a
Did
dickhead!
it?
What a
And
dickhead!
to be fair though, this has been going out to the wedding pairs,
Just
and
put it
people have
out on
stopped
the
doing it.
table in the coffee shop.
I cringe. I cringe when I think about it. It was at the Preston Marriott, and I put my brochures out, my CDs, and I put my award there. I was like, oh my god, it seemed like the
If
perfectly
they
normal
want to
thing
do
to
it at a
do.
wedding fair, I take them to the
No, it
wedding
wasn't a
fair.
wedding fair. It was a meeting with a potential couple. Oh,
Did they
so
book
embarrassing.
you?
Uh, I can't remember. Probably most people book when we have a meeting. I think I've
I'd
only ever
love,
known two out of 1,000 weddings after the meeting where they haven't booked. So generally, everybody does.
I'd love
Probably
you to
work
just love the image of them coming in and being like, "Hi, oh, let me get you a coffee. Do you want a drink? Sit
Check my
down.
award.
1 minute.
Check my.
Just let me put this down." Ugh.
I had to bring my massive paperweight with me today just to hold the papers down. What a dickhead. The things you do. But funny moment in my life.
Yeah, no, I think targeting venues is a great like even just that's my goal this year is to get into 6 new venues or yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's there's like lots of little bits I keep thinking about doing to expand, and then I'm like, but I just love what I'm doing, and especially because I get asked a lot about other saxophone players and I'm not available, and I keep thinking maybe I should like make some sort of directory, and I don't know, but then I'm like, no, I just like organizing me. When I've worked in bands, there's a lot of other organizations, so shout out to the bands who have to think about other people's holidays and rehearsals, and yeah,
Yeah. There's a like because your brain does go to like how can I evolve and scale and do
mm,
I think in videographer world it's like okay I've been doing this for years and I'm successful I'll start a course or a workshop or something educational but then it doesn't necessarily always it's not for everyone is it like scaling and doing
yeah. I
it
mean, I'd
doesn't
like
always
to
work
like
there's
do
a lot to be said
podcasts.
for just going I like what I do I just want to be really good at it and I'm just going to stick with that.
Yeah, I think thing is just keeping eyes out for opportunities as well, because I'm not against like doing something educational or speaking, and I'm like to be a podcast guest and stuff. So there's
Tick.
nothing that I'm like, this is what I have to do this year. It's just I want to be consistently good at what I've been doing, and then try and get some extra bits along the way, like those, supply
Yeah,
lists
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Maybe one day you'll get yourself on a good podcast.
things. That shades the other two I've already done a while ago.
Oh, I don't know. No, I was
I'm joking.
self-deprecating. No, don't worry. I was
No,
self-deprecating.
this is no. I mean, it's taken me over a year to get on this one, so I'm here. That's
We first met at the previous year's national awards in London, and was it your friend that came up and went,
yeah.
"My
I
friend
mean,
Lucy
I've done
really
a
likes
lot
your
that year.
podcast," and I was like, "Oh, stop
Who's
it."
she? Yeah, yeah. But it's all
Great.
right. I spoke to Howard, and then we're there.
Great stuff. Right, come on, finishing question.
Let me find it. Hold on. Yeah, so from the last podcast with Daisy, which was a while ago, actually another musician as well. I feel
Well,
like you
she won the previous year.
She did, yeah. I feel like you're monopolising at the minute, Howard. You can tell who's been
Sorry.
booking the guests recently. Um, so she said, how would you have your own wedding after being in the industry, or words to that effect? So if you,
Yeah, I
are you
could listen
married?
to that.
Are you married?
I am married. Yeah, it'll be
Okay,
13 years in September.
nice.
So
So a while ago. So what would you
yeah,
do differently now?
I was trying to think about this because I did listen to the podcast, so I was having a think, and it's really hard because I think everyone looks back on their own wedding day with like rose tinted glasses, like it was one of the best days of your life. So you don't really want to pick fault with it, but I think there was things that we really scraped and budgeted, and we're in different like income bracket now, so that's I'd probably spend more on things that I couldn't afford
Hmm.
then. But like I really wanted fireworks, which I know would have annoyed videographers and photographers to stay for that, but we couldn't afford it. I think that just something like that would blow the budget a bit that I just couldn't do
Yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
fireworks.
I suppose that's an obvious one, isn't it? Like monetarily, like, oh, we're earning a bit
Yeah.
more now. It would be nice to. By the way, I love fireworks. I'll stay for them all day long. It's only
I know, but I
people
know for a
people
lot.
complain because they can't be bothered
Oh,
staying.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't. We got married in September, so it gets darker quicker.
Yeah.
It's not like it's middle of June. Sort of, you've got to wait till 11 o'clock.
I get, I
to get.
get it, I get it, but then it's kind of like for me, it's the content. It'd be like it might save your day in the edit. Like, oh, I can
Yeah.
actually, I've got something epic at the end here to end on, sort of thing.
I've just got to say, so I did a wedding on New Year's Eve and it was fantastic. It was over at Coleshaw Hall. And they had this ceremony a bit later in the day and it was already dark. When they came out of the ceremony, they lined everybody up. I think they did that confetti or sparklers, and then they had fireworks.
Oh
So
no,
before they went in for the drinks reception, and it
I
was
Well,
love a winter
a totally different time of the day when you'd expect it, and it worked really well. So everybody was all out, already outside from the ceremony, having pictures and confetti shot, and then all of a sudden the fireworks are going off, and it was brilliant, and it worked. It worked really, really well. But I'm always the same with fireworks. I'm watching them going 50 quid, 100 quid,
wedding. It
200
is
quid,
crazy money. I remember getting the
500
quote and
quid. I'm
being like,
like,
whoa. But then whenever there's a wedding that is fireworks, I do go outside and I'm like, oh, isn't it nice? And everyone's kind of around and it's like a nice moment. And yeah,
hmm.
so probably if I could have afforded it, fireworks.
they're great for
what
pictures.
what would you do, Howard?
What different?
Yeah.
Two things I do for my wedding. The only two things I do differently for my wedding is I would get a better photographer because at the time, I'm going back 20 years, we were led, but I did my first wedding the same year me and Sam got married. So I didn't know anybody in the industry. I was just led by the venue. So they recommended me two photographers that I would never book them now in a million years. We don't even look at the pictures. It was all staged. They left before the dinner and they took us away for 2 hours of our drink reception, getting stage photographs, rings on rings, and it was just horrendous. We missed our drinks. We didn't have fun with the guests. We could see them all enjoying and raising glasses and dancing, and we just wanted to be
Mm.
with them, but we were stuck taking these pictures. So I changed the photographer, and I would get a proper videographer. They're the only two things that I changed because, again, at the time I didn't know the value of having a video for your wedding. I mean, now
Yeah.
it's like one of the first things that I book because there's all those memories, all those little things that you can't relive properly. You're just
Yeah, and
like
I
looking
say
at the
couples
picture.
as well is like getting those group shots. I know it takes you away from your drinks reception, but usually you can hear it and you will get some time. But you, it's a horrible thing, but you lose people over the years, and actually, so those are like some memories you actually can't get back. And same with video. We had a friend do our video, and it wasn't great in the end, but we got everyone to do like a piece of camera and being able to watch those back. The people who aren't with us anymore, sort of just wishing us well.
That's a big
Those are things you can literally you can't redo.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, with a photographer, it's like it's getting somebody who is gets the shots that are required, but do it in an informal, not pressured way. Like
Yeah.
so, the people that I work with regularly now and the people that I recommend, they just seem to be so good of getting the shots they need, but also allowing the couple to have a bit of time with their friends during the drink section. And it's a real
Yeah,
art
that's
form.
the perfect
This is
mix. It
why
is, yeah.
a
Mm.
real pro is important to get.
But
So
then it
they're
comes
the only
back to any sort of content, like even for you guys justifying your GoPro stuff on the wedding breakfast, you might capture something through that is going to be priceless to that couple one day, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's a nice gift it's a nice gift to be able to give somebody. I'm editing a video at the minute I shot 10 years ago, and they've asked for more footage than they had originally. So I'm revisiting a 10-year-old, and you know, by my current standards, the footage is I'm not super proud of, and I'm cringing a little bit. But actually, it's really nice to go back to see. And there's people that there's people that were at that wedding that I'm looking at through my screen now that I know are no longer here. And then the couple have babies and young kids at the time of the wedding, and they're now grown up. So I can't wait to send it them, because like it's been really nice for me to go back, and also I think they're going to love it. Yeah.
Are you making a whole new video for them then?
Yeah. They had like just a 5-minute highlight film at the time, because I think that was all I offered, and so now I'm doing them.
Did I do?
No.
Did you keep all the footage, or did they have all the footage?
No, I've kept it all. But again, like this is not something that everyone does. I don't know many people that keep
I was going to say a lot.
Ever.
I see a lot of videographers or photographers be like,
keep it for a year. Yeah. But I'm glad that I did that, because then when they ask, I can go, yeah, I still got it.
It's amazing.
Because I imagine if they came back and said, have you like again, worst case scenario, but like someone's died, have you got footage of this person? And I just went, no, I deleted it. Sorry. I'd feel so bad. I'd feel awful.
A lot of people do, because you've only got so much hard drive space, and
So but it's fun. Going the extra mile, I suppose, because they appreciate that, and there'll be other videographers that would have just said, "Oh no, it's long gone that." But
you've got a great upsell, haven't you? Then you've got a great.
It's a good upsell, and it's just
10-year anniversary present. Redo your video.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna once I've finished it, I'm gonna post about it and talk about it, and you know, you never know, might get a few more people going.
Unique, and because our video wasn't great. We've got a friend to do it, and then it was so bad actually that I cried. And then I got a different friend to put together what she could from it. He gave her all the files, and that was watchable. But I didn't really watch it. My husband watched it more than me, and I think investing in a good videographer is probably a top tip as well. But it would be nice to get it redone if we'd got the good footage in the first place.
Right. What do we do? Oh yes, do you have a question for our next guest? We've got him. He's coming on Wednesday. I'm not going to tell you who he is or what he does.
I probably won't know him anyway. I'm different.
No, but I'm not going to say anything to ask the question.
Okay. I don't know if this is something you're already asking your questions, but what piece of advice would you give yourself when you were starting out? Probably.
If you could go back where you are now, when you started out, what advice would you give yourself? That's a good question. That. So and you may have met him because he was at the Wedding Awards with us, and he's a DJ host. The very tall guy with the afro, sort of mini afro, sort of.
Okay. Did they win?
No.
Okay. I'll have to keep an eye out then. I know a lot of DJs, but maybe
he's great. So he's coming over. He's coming over on Wednesday. So right, we're good.
Spoiler alert.
Are we wrapping?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Luce. Thank you for coming on. Long time coming.
I know.
But we got there.
Great to have you.
One of those things, don't give up. Keep asking. Keep pushing.
For anybody else who's watching or listening to this, you don't have to have won the Wedding Awards to come on the podcast. By the way, just reach out. Just reach out if you've got something to give, something you think our audience would enjoy. Just ask away.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks, Liz. Love yous.
Thank you.
Boom. Right.
So thanks so much for listening. We really hope that you found this episode insightful, inspirational, and if you did enjoy that, then please consider subscribing to us wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. We're Think Wedding Business.
We're also on YouTube and Instagram. So if you want to watch us, you can go over to YouTube and find us at Think Wedding Business. and the same over on Instagram to keep up with all of our future episodes.
We'd really love you to subscribe and join us on this journey. And if you do like this content, please consider giving us a 5-star review. It just helps us get seen and helps spread the word.
So thanks again for listening,
Wings
and we'll see you
out.
next time.
Bye-bye.